Hey guys, AfroPinkid here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a very basic first look into Final Cut Pro. So this is going to be a tutorial showing you how to work Final Cut Pro if you're a beginner. So starting off, right here we have Final Cut Pro open, and right here I have a project open already as test, but there's no sequence. Right here there's no timeline and there's no canvas. So what you're going to do is hit right click, and you can go to new sequence. And we're going to name this one test. As right there we have the sequence test, double click, and boom, there is your timeline and your canvas window. So pretty much your canvas window is showing you the final product of what is going on in the timeline. The timeline is where you're going to be putting all your video files, your picture files, and your audio files into a sequence to tell a story or do your project. Now your viewer window is where you can view your media. So when you double click your media file over here, it's going to give you a preview before you drop it into your timeline. Also, while your media is in the timeline, you double click it, this is where you're going to be looking at filters, motion of it, and stuff like that. So while talking about media, let's get some media into the browser window. The browser window is where you store all your media files. So to get media files into the browser, you can go to File and you can go to Import, or you can just hit right click and hit Import. Now you can import files or you can import whole folders. So let's just say you have a folder with tons of videos or pictures in it. You can actually, instead of importing each file separately, you can actually just import the whole folder. However, for now we're going to import files. As right here I have 3 movie files that I was using to test out different green paint for my green screen coming up. So all I did was click the top one, shift, click down, hit choose, and there you go. The 3 movie files are inside the browser. And like I said before, if you double click, you can preview your file or your video clip inside the viewer or preview window before you actually drop it into the timeline. Now, one thing is that if you're going to have tons and tons of video files and movie files and audio files, it's good that you keep them organized. So in the browser window, you can hit right click and you can make new bin. Now what a bin is pretty much a folder where you can store different stuff. So we're going to hit new bin and we're going to name this video files. So right there, this bin is called video files. If I click down on it, there's none in there right now, but if we can just click shift, and we're going to drag these right into there. So now when we open it up, you can see that your movie file is right there, and it's just a better way to keep organized. Now to actually start editing and getting your video files into the timeline, you can do this a couple ways. You can just, if you want the whole video file in the timeline, you can just from here drag it and drop it in. Or you can double click it, and let's just say you just want a portion of the video file. Let's just say you just want this part to this part. So this is going to be your end point, not your end END, but end point. So that's where you want it to start, and let's just say right there you want it to end, or your out point. So we can either drag this to the timeline, or over here you can insert it, override. You can actually replace, fit to fill, and some other stuff. However, for now we're just gonna hit overwrite. So pretty much the clip went wherever the playhead is at. If the playhead was over here in the beginning, it would have started from there. So let's just say we have that. Now let's go over to another movie file. We'll double click that, and let's just say we went from here, so hit the end point and hit the out point, and also we can drag right here, or you could do this. Let's just say we want this clip to be in the middle of this clip. All we have to do is hit insert. Instead of overwrite, we hit insert and it goes right between. If we had hit overwrite, it's gonna, however long the clip is, it's gonna just totally go over the other one. So if we hit overwrite, as you can see right here, it just overwrites it, and this is the rest of the other clip. So that is how you do that. But let's just say you didn't want to insert it and you want to manually insert it. So you can do this. you go to your tool palette and you go to cut tool, and you can come over here and you can cut this all up. So we can just cut up a bunch of clips right here, and then you can go to your cursor tool, select one, and you can just hit delete, delete, and maybe delete. And that's pretty much how you cut up clips. So let's go back. So let's just say I made the cut right there, hit the cursor tool, drag this out, get this one and insert it right there. But now let's just say we have a couple gaps. Let's just say you made a gap right there. You can come down to this little scroll bar right here, and you can actually make the clips it's pretty much like zooming on the clip so you can see a little bit more detail. So right here we have a gap. You can click on that gap, and then so left click and then right click to close the gap. And also you can do that to this one, and that's how you can close the gaps. Also, one thing in the right here you have, it has orange, and that means right now these are H.264 video clips, and I think I'm editing on an HDV timeline. So let's just say you have to render something, you can just highlight, and if you can go up to here, you hit sequence, and you can hit render all or render only, and that needs render or stuff like that. Or you can also highlight and hit Control R, and that will render out the files, and that is very useful. Let's just say you are shooting on a Canon 5D Mark II or something like that, and you have there's Final Cut Pro doesn't edit H.264 video clips natively, so that's how you have to render. Or better yet, it's better that you have a program called MPEG Streamclip where you can actually convert the files into either Apple ProRes or HDV or DVC Pro, something more easier to edit into Final Cut Pro, so you don't have to be rendering all the time. So that pretty much is my first tutorial showing you how to work Final Cut Pro. Later on, if you want to add effects, you can just click this tab right here, and you can go to effects. Let's just say a glow effect, hit glow. We can put that over this, and now you can see in your canvas window that everything has a glowing effect. So this is pretty much just first tutorial showing you guys how to do a couple stuff, show you the browser, the landscape of Final Cut Pro. I'm gonna have a lot more videos showing you a lot more in-depth stuff. This is just my first one. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something today. So this has been Afro Pinkett, and I'll see you guys in the next video.